Alright, welcome back, YouTube. We are going to shut off the power for the mind control system because that's just screwed up.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Oh, happy ending. I'm glad Stanley's happy because he died in the last two endings, so. Achievement unlocked. Beat the game. That playthrough was only like 5 minutes. So, am I missing something? The end is never the end is never the end. I feel like there's more to do still. It's taking a long time to load, so maybe there's a little bit more than what meets the eye. So help me, if it takes me back to my office room, I'm going to be really confused. I see that, Garrett. So far we've seen 3 of them, so I guess we're going to keep going.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Wait.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
This doesn't make sense, though. This doesn't look like the same office building. Is it? Welcome to the whiteboard ending? Console bark. Wait, I forget how to access the console. Give me a second. I haven't played a Valve game in a while. Left of 1. Yeah, I pressed that. That was the first key I pressed, and it didn't open the console. Well, I'm just gonna ignore that. I'm assuming that something happens if I enter the word bark into the console. All right, we're gonna do that. Let's see if it's in here. Console. Yeah, that's the key that we're pressing. Okay. Achievement saves. Advanced options. I don't remember seeing that. Extras, nope. No. I doubt it would be in video, that would make sense. Now I'm really curious, because there is a key for the console, but it didn't do anything. So let me change it to something else then. there's nothing here. Yeah, I'm just going to change it to a different key, and if it doesn't work, then I'll just move on. Because I'm really curious. Okay. Back. Yeah, that didn't do it. Okay, well, I guess we're just gonna have to move on. I'll have to look into that a little
Stanley
bit later.
went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Okay, I'm super confused though, because this is clearly not the same office building. Or this is at least a different room that we haven't been in before.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
That's really weird. This is the same, but that area we were just in is not the same.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Hoping he might come into a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
We need to enter the door on the right and then go through the open door on the left immediately after that. Because this is just going to take us back where we were.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad,
I know we just went
Stanley
through all
happened
this,
to
but I'm going to
input
see
the
what
correct
happens when I
code
press
by
the
sheer
on
luck.
button
Amazing.
in the
He stepped
power
into the
room.
newly opened passageway.
And then after we see what that does, I'm going to take the door on the right and then go into the open door that the narrator tells me to go in and see what happens when I do that. I wish I could get the console to work, though. I've been able to access the console in every other Valve game, because I use it in Portal 2 when I'm making test chambers to test them out. And then I've used it in Half-Life when I get stuck. But for some reason, it won't let me
Stanley
open the
walked
console.
straight ahead through the large door that read Mind
what's over
Control
here?
Facility.
Ah, there's so many paths before me. I'm gonna press the on button on the power thing for the mind control thing. But I want to
The
know what
lights
that
rose
escape
on an
thing is.
enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
That's a lot of cigarettes. Not an ashtray in sight. I wonder how many of those have been thrown over the edge. Probably just a ton of cigarettes laying at the bottom of this pit.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives
wish I
of
could
so
read
many
that set
individuals
over there.
reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of smoking myself.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation.
I'm gonna look around this room a little bit more.
With
Yeah, because I haven't
emotions,
been up here
happy
yet.
or sad or content.
What
Walking,
is up here?
eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in,
4.
Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power
4.
over another human life.
Are there
For
other
he
numbered buttons?
would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Oh, here's a 1 and a 2. I'm assuming by default there's a 3 somewhere then. Is that it over here? No, this looks like a 5. 5. And 3. Okay. I'm just gonna try pushing them in order 1 to 5 and see if that does anything. So, 1, 2, 3. Where's that staircase? This is very interesting. I've never played this game, so I didn't know that there were so many branching options that you could do. 4. I just assumed that it was fairly straightforward, and that there was just a narrator that kind of just like commented on stuff that you were doing. That's all I thought, because I only seen bits and pieces of it. But this is actually really interesting. Okay, that did nothing. All right, maybe I should take a look around and see if there's a hint as to a different order to push these buttons in. What does this do? So these are like action buttons. Like this tells someone to go home, and let's turn on the power. Maybe that's what we got to do. Let's go to the faculty power and turn it on, and then see if we can do stuff in here.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
What? Me?
After they kept
Never.
you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Deep dark secret all
Stanley,
along.
I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes.
No.
Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere
Let's go press the big red
moments until the
button now.
bomb
Let's see if
goes
that
off.
actually does
But
something.
what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you.
Okay, what did that do?
About
Incorrect.
me.
Re-enter
where we're
passcode.
going,
What is the
what all this
passcode?
means. I barely know where to start.
0521.
What's
Wait,
that?
no, there is no
You'd
zero
like to
button.
know where your co-workers are. A moment of solace before you're obliterated. All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free.
Okay.
Of course, that was
1.
merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office
Yellow
forever,
button.
pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp.
What is this trying to
I
tell
have
me?
to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the
I
control
am trying to
wrested
make
away
sense
from
of
you,
everything.
it's quite rich.
What does
Almost
that
hate
say?
to see it go.
Button.
But I'm sure whatever I come up with
Continue,
on the
question
next
mark?
go around will be even better. My goodness, only 34
3.
seconds left.
Ah!
But I'm enjoying this so much.
We're gonna
you know
die.
What? To hell with it.
We are gonna be
I'm
exploded.
Going
Can
to put
I
some
save?
extra time on the clock. Why not? These
Actually,
are
that was probably
precious
not a good time
additional
to save.
seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on
1,
trees.
2,
Oh dear
3.
me, what's the matter, Stanley?
Did that do anything?
Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're
Yes.
supposed to be doing right now?
Yes, that is
Or did
precisely
you just
it.
assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button,
You have 2
screen
attempts
to
remaining.
screen, clicking on every little thing in
Shoot.
this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me.
Wait a second.
Why would you think that, Stanley?
Pink 2? Is
That
there a
this
pink
video
button
game
that
can
has a
be
2 on it?
beaten? 1 solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along.
What
It's
does this
just
do?
seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made
wow.
humble.
This game just
This is not a
obliterated the
challenge.
fourth wall.
It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you
Goodbye,
can't.
employee 427. Okay,
Take a look
we
at the clock,
are...
Stanley.
We're screwed.
That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds
Can
until
I
a big
get out
boom
of here
and then
before it
nothing.
explodes?
No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling
It's
desperately
over,
to your
boys.
frail life?
We
Or
made
will
a
you let it go
mistake.
peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me,
We're
I will be
doomed.
laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Oh, no! Okay. So there's a puzzle here that needs to be solved. There's certain order to these buttons that we need to figure out. Oh, I'm very intrigued though. I really want to know what happens if I can somehow stop this countdown. So, can we reload that save that I made earlier? I wish I would have saved right after I pressed the
Time on the
The
clock,
on
why
button.
not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
Alright, we're gonna figure this out.
Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no
What does
idea
it
where
say?
you're going or
Executing
what you're
button
supposed to be
hint.
doing right
Graphic
now?
provided.
Or did you just assume when you saw that
Okay,
timer that
so the
something in this
hint is
room
trying
was
to tell me
capable of
what
turning
button I
it
need to
off?
press, but
I mean, look at you.
there's a lot of blue
running
buttons.
from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe,
Maybe I
this
have to
big
press
red
all the
button, or
blue
this
buttons?
door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten?
Is there...
One
okay,
solved?
what about this one?
Do you have any idea
No.
what your purpose in this place
2
is?
purple.
Stanley,
Okay, what about this one?
You're in for
Okay,
quite
nope.
a disappointment. But here's a
The
spoiler
blue
for
3
you.
again.
That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death.
Okay, 1 light
You're only
blue.
still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you
1
for
red.
every moment that you're powerless. To see
3
you
blue.
made humble.
1,
This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You
2,
wanted to control this world, that's fine.
3.
But I'm going to
That didn't
destroy
do
it
anything.
first.
Goodbye.
So you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being
No.
blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life? Or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
What is up, JB? I am playing the Stanley Parable, and I'm trying to figure out the trick to this final little puzzle here. But I seem to be confused. So we're going to try to check out some of the other pathways, and then we're going to come back to that. Because I really do want to know what happens if we get the sequence correct. So we will come back to that, and I'll be sure to save right as soon as the timer starts, so I have
All of
more
his
time.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, we're going to turn
Stanley
right
came to
here,
a set of 2 open doors. This
and
was not the
then we're
correct
gonna
way to the
take
meeting
the
room,
left
and Stanley
up
knew
here.
it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
So when
Wow.
there's the open
Yes,
door, we're actually
this
going to go
room.
into it.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Because we went through that door straight ahead last time.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Okay, but what if I go down here? There are so many possibilities.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left. Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
Ah! Is this door still open? Ah! I should have tried to run through it quickly while it was open.
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the
Is it
right?
gonna be this one?
What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Oh, do I get to drive? Let me in the mail truck, please. You know, it's not safe to leave a vehicle running in an enclosed space. That's how you die from, gas poisoning.
No.
we're back in
This
here
isn't
now.
right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay.
We've already
just
seen
need to
this.
get back to, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable.
Carbon monoxide,
How
that's what I
about
was
rather
looking for.
than
Thank
waste
you.
my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
That is what... I couldn't think of the word. I knew it was mono something. Carbon monoxide poisoning. If you leave a vehicle running in your garage. Fun fact. Alright, so...
All of his co-workers were gone.
we're going to take
What
a
could it
right
mean?
at the two
Stanley
doors.
decided to go to the
Then we're
meeting
going to go
room.
through the door
Perhaps
on
he
the
had
left.
simply missed a
But
memo.
then we're going to go to the door on the opposite end of the hall. And see what that does.
When Stanley... Wait, what?
Wait, what?
No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors?
No.
Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley.
Whoa.
Let's find the story.
Okay, well now... See, I was going to go and see what that other room was, but now I'm curious. We have a whole lot of possibilities now. What's in here? Every time I think that I have this game all figured out, I stand corrected. There's just so many different branching pathways. I feel like I'm gonna get lost. There's no way I'll be able to see every possible outcome.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I
Oh,
can
whoa.
promise you
We just
there
got to the other-
definitely
Well, how
was
did
a
we get
story
here?
here before.
We were just
Do we
over
just-
there.
Do we need to restart the game again?
No, I'm curious.
Well, I find it unlikely that
Don't
we'll ever
start it
progress
over.
by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
No! No! I actually wanted to look around. Why did you do this to me, narrator?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
When I first went into this game, I was expecting just a funny walking through an office and
okay, yep.
okay, now
worse.
there's no doors.
I might be remembering this wrong.
But
It's possible the story is back where we just came from.
This is insane.
Why don't we
like
go
in a
back
good
the
way.
other direction and see if we missed anything?
Like there are just so many different pathways to take. Overarching storylines. Do we have to go back to my office now?
Aha! I
What?
knew we'd missed something.
What happened to
the
our
story.
office?
Here it comes.
Wait, this isn't physically possible. Cause there's a hallway right here, so there's no way that we should be able. What? Oh, my head hurts trying to figure this all
No,
out.
wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
What is going on? What?
Now this... Well, I'll be honest. I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building.
That's what I'm saying.
Is that correct?
I'm so confused.
Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
I win.
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and
You
it
won the
really
game.
paid off. So, good job.
Thank you.
Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win.
Hey.
Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is.
Of course
I don't
you
care
do.
what might happen this time. I have to restart.
See, I'm not quite frustrated. I'm actually amused. This is a lot deeper than I was expecting going into this. The Stanley Parable Adventure line. All right.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
What do you guys think? Should I follow this line? Should I go off the path? See, the problem is we're so distant from the main game now with all these restarts that I'm worried that if I stray off the path that I won't be able to get back to this point to make another decision. So, whatever decision we make right now has got to count. So, I want to hear your guys' input. Should we stay on the adventure line or should we go through the other door? Because I'm really curious either way what's going to happen. Make any decision. Ha ha ha. I think... Well, for the people watching on YouTube, we are about at 29 minutes. So... I'm going to go ahead and stop this video here, and we will make our decision once we get back.